Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And we got some limited time Chamber of Memories and contract stages. Now, they are numbered as if they are just a continuation of the normal event stages. These will go away in just over a month's time. So we do have quite a bit, to do for them. There's only 3 stages right now. There's no news if they're going to add any more to it, but certainly, I mean, this is good for newer players because it also has like a 10,000 population requirement versus the normal chamber, which has like 150 or something that, new players can't do. And, EX shards are nice for newer players to get because you do get them now, sometimes here and there, mainly from the shops. But today we're going to be looking at the Chamber of Aspects number 5, which is limited to certain forces. Summer Memories, Commander, and Shizu's Will. So we've got a starting hand of a Special Convert for blues. We've got an AoE focused stage. You're meant to use the Summer Memories meta with Trainee and MILIM and Summer Lumi. Let's see if they do anything really wonky here. 633k HP. Okay, I mean, is not very high nowadays, but certainly may give people some issues. Defense down. Let's see. Seals attack, Seals defense. Alright, what does Shuna do? Alt guard penetrations, no guarding. Light attack, and then Aaron nerfs oranges. Okay. Heals all allies to match the ally with the highest percentage. So you do have to nuke all 3 of them pretty much at once. Okay. Yeah, well, let's go through with this with the Summer Memories team very quick. It'll be very easy, and then we'll come back with some potential alternatives. Alright, here is a Summer Memories team. We've got Trainee, Free-to-Play Romorus, Summer Shizu, Fount of Wisdom Rimuru for the physical buff. MILIM is our AoE character, and then finally getting to use Summer Lumi again in a useful scenario, I guess. So this team obviously will have more than enough damage to beat it, so this will be a very quick clip for the team itself. The charm we're running is AoE damage right now. I might switch it up to skill points on blues depending on how starved for points we are, but AoE damage is something that this team is not giving and will definitely benefit MILIM and Lumi. Alright, so starting off, we have the Special Convert with Romorus. This stage heals everybody up to like the same amount of HP, so there's no point in just targeting one enemy because they'll just immediately get healed back up to full because the other 2 units are full. So it's better to just spread the damage out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's a very annoying gimmick because it does just take time out of your clicking away. But it is, you're meant to nuke this with an AoE team, so build an AoE team. The greens, man. I can't do anything about green orbs. I can do stuff about orange orbs. Stop giving me greens. You're going to give me another one, aren't you? Oh my god, you are. Okay, well, this wasn't really much better right here, but we can kind of get around it. So we're going to bring Water Rimuru in. We're going to change those 2 oranges. And then, because these 2 greens are already MILIM, we're just going to steal all the blues with MILIM. And now we can use Trainee. This will guarantee that now every orb coming in from this point forward will be a blue orb. So, this is just an unfortunate thing right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This does also get her ult. Let's also put some Enamor on. Get some extra damage on the blue orbs. Get a little bit of extra ult gauge. That'll be nice. And then, yeah, we'll start working towards an EX ult with MILIM soon. They do seal our attack skills on at the end of turn 4, so I do need to use the weakness strike and the attack buff with MILIM on, turn 3 and then send her away. So hopefully I'll have an EX ult for her by then. Let's bring you in for Rimuru. Let's go ahead and swap the ult away. Let's get Romorus in here so we can charm again on Mirren. So this will be 30% extra ult gauge that we're going to receive. Alright, and then let's see, how much do we get back on this? not enough. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Trainee. Again, guarantee that the next hand is blues. She'll give us extra 40 skill points. And we'll go ahead and yoink and also attack buff now. That way we're guaranteed the EX ult. We've used one skill already that's going to get sealed. And then next turn we can have the EX ult. We'll have the buff on. And then we can just use Shizu and then send MILIM away. And we're not in danger of missing out on anything. Okay, I made a cut because in the last clip that I was going for, we made a little bit of a mistake here. So can't do that now. Here we're going to alt swap away into 3 MILIMs. I mean, this hand by itself will get us very close. And now what we can do is we can apply a few of the enamor effects to these characters. 15% extra alt gauge, pretty much for free, is going to be very, very nice. So bringing Lumi in, we'll use Trainee again to guarantee the next hand is blue. And then we'll add her own enamor effect on. And then we'll also do the attack buff with MILIM, because I want to use that now. It does last for 2 turns, so we can get her ult here, and then we can send her away after using the Shizu buff next turn, and it can be pretty well off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 40k a hit is pretty good. 13k, 14k, maybe not as much, but oh well. At least it's kind of even across the board. Now we've got the MILIM EX ult once the enamor effect kicks in. You cannot put enamor on the same enemy. You have to put them on 2 different enemies for them to actually both take effect. But there we go. There's that. We have 64 points. We'll use the weakness strike with Shizu. We'll use Trainee to guarantee that when we swap MILIM out, we will have another blue orb, which it was going to be blue anyways, but we got to make sure. Don't bring Rimuru in, because his attack buff will get sealed, so that's why we have to use these buffs now. MILIM's attack and dark attack is still active, so here, at this point, this is just a free hand, and we're going to build up points here. How many stacks do I have on Lumi? We have 8, so we need to use it 2 more times, which we'll definitely be able to do. So let's not use any skills, let's just go ahead and send it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Perfect, max points. Double protector means that we have 180 points to use, which means we have enough for the 80% or 80 point big buff from Fountain Wizard Rimuru and the 55 point buff from Lumi, and we'll have enough to max out Lumi as well, since we need to use 2 more stacks of Trainee. So as long as we get an orb for either Ramaris or Shizu, which Shizu has an ult, so she's guaranteed. Okay, perfect, yeah, that works. And we also have a Lumi ult too, that's cool. You can come in for Shizu, yep, and then Ramaris will come out for Fount of Wisdom Rimuru. This green orb no longer really matters. So, we will do the big time buff from Rimuru, and then we'll use Trainee twice to give us back to 100 skill points, essentially. But by using Trainee twice, because we need to use Protectors to continue to stack Lumi's skill up to its full 100% effect, now it's good. We'll use that, we'll put some dark resistance and fire resistance down, and then we'll yoink some of the blue orbs, all the blue orbs that we have currently, to MILIM, just in case. And then we'll send Lumi first, because she does have a physical attack effect, and then we'll send MILIM, and this should do way too much damage. So Lumi 135, and then MILIM cleans up with 736. A lot more HP than what they currently had at the time. But there we go, there's a Summer Memories team clearing this after a few brain-dead attempts that I did, because I'm an idiot. Let's try an alternate version to clear this stage out, with a limited number of units. Alright, next up, if you happen to have the Commander meta with the Shizu, or if you can fit really any AoE character that would be, fall under Renard's leader skill and be able to receive the alt buff from Hinata, I mean, you could make it work. Shizu is going to give herself the physical buff. I did try to use Diablo in this fight, and it's not very good because of that Pierce, and they have 80% Pierce resistance, so it's not really that great of a unit to use here, even though you would think that it would be. But because of that Pierce, he's cut out. So I don't think this is quite the run. Let me go find it really fast. Okay, here we go. So Hinata can take care of turn 1 with the convert. It's not the gauge increase. It doesn't really matter, though, because it's not like we're running the big 3 and anything like that. We're going to bring in Fount of Wisdom, or not Fount of Wisdom, but Visions of Coleus Rimuru, and I brought him for the Rainbow Orbs, because I really, really want that EX ult with Shizu, so we can get not only her physical buff, but the 70% EX buff as well. It's just a little bit difficult to manage. We've got Dark Hinata here to kind of get us started, so she's going to steal 3 orbs on turn 2, that way we don't really have to do any weird orb changing or anything like that. Plus, we don't have a lot of points because Hinata doesn't have a gauge increase, and Bullies inherently don't give you a lot to begin with until you start stacking it with a Protector, who is going to put ult resistance down on everybody and give Shizu that 12% weakness strike per turn. We're going to send all this. We're again going to spread the damage out a bit because they heal themselves to equal HP numbers. And turn 3, this is where things can go a little bit wonky. Here, we're going to need to we're going to have to get her EX ult on turn 3 using the Rainbow Orbs, because on turn 4 she gets sealed, but I also need her EX ult on turn 4 so I can send her away so she doesn't get sealed. So here we have 55 points. We have, I believe, exactly enough to convert those 2 Rimuru Orbs and then use the Rainbow skill. And between that and this full send, you know, the 2 Shizu orbs right there will be enough to get her EX ult, so this is how we're set up for it. Again, spreading the damage out, and it'll work fairly well. So now we're safe, right? None of the other characters that we've brought have an attack skill that I really care about. Glenda, I do leave her in. You could say that it's a misplay. I didn't really have any doubts that Shizu wouldn't kill here. Plus, we have a Glenda ult, so even if we can't use her guaranteed synergy and the physical resistance down, we're going to get, you know, the physical buff, the EX ult buff, the normal ult buff. We've got the weakness strike. We've got the stacks of ult resistance down, and between those things and a Glenda AOE ult to, you know, tack on some extra damage, we are able to kill. Now, if you want to be smart about it, you would just take Glenda out and bring her back in, and then you'd have enough for all 3 buffs, and, you know, you'd be hunky dory. But even here, we're able to kill without using it. So that's why we send Shizu to the back, so she doesn't get hit with that attack seal, and then we'll bring her in for Coleus Rimuru, who we can't bring her in for Hinata anyways, because, you know, we got to use Hinata's buff. So, 1 more stack of Renard. We'll use the 2 expensive, so actually 2 more stacks. We'll use the 2 expensive skills. Again, can't use Glenda, not a big deal. Boom, boom. We can convert here using Hinata or Shizu. It really doesn't matter. We could use one of them. But we're not going to get to the normal orbs. So we'll send Glenda first, and then Shizu, and then the follow-up orbs, which we're not going to need. Glenda does 162, and Shizu does just about 600,000, which they only have 622. So there we go. There's the Commander team. I know it's not very free-to-play friendly, right? Because it's got a whole bunch of current meta characters that I've told people not to summon for Shizu anyways, but again, if you have some viable unit that can take it on that's AoE focused, 600k is, you know, you can do it. You can definitely do it. It just takes a few units to get it done. But let's move on to the 3rd and final Cheesy team. Alright, final team, Cheesy Vengeance, right? We've got Vengeance Velzard. We've got Romorus again for the turn 1 convert. It will help us actually get a lot of protection gauge, which is nice. We've got EX Yome, technically free to play because he's only in the tickets. We've got old Lumi, but she is skill fused. We've got free to play Yome, and we have Harmonizer Rimuru, who everyone got for free last month if you logged in and you were playing. So his usefulness here is a secondary healing unit, but primarily the Ult Denial, because the only unit that's really super duper scary on her ult is Shuna, because she's a single target, she's got a lot of buffs, and she will pretty much straight up kill anyone. So we will have to use the Ult Denial at least twice in this run. He is not skill fused though, so he's at the full 40 cost as well. So I haven't skill fused him because I don't really use him that often, but we finally found a use for him. So we're going to send 6 blues. The damage that we do to the characters really doesn't matter, because we're looking to kill with Vengeance, right? So normal orb damage, I mean, they'll heal up back up to full if we keep sending it like this. really not that big of a deal. But we have a hand with no greens. You know, Yom is converting, Lumi is converting, EX Yom is converting, so it's not like we're lacking converters here, it's just that we're dealt a pretty shit hand. So let's go ahead and bring our primary frontline units up front. Orb Changers, defense, healer. We'll apply Vengeance now. They do attack quite a bit, because there's 3 of them, but we're just going to send these blues. Yom can convert 3 oranges, and here we have 4, but we also have Lumi. So we have just enough points, I think, to do that. But we're getting 5 Vengeance stacks a turn, which is pretty significant. So 1, 2, that's all we have skill points for. Greens are nerfed for a number of turns, I think like 6 turns or something. It's a 50% nerf. Velzard is still going to give us a lot of skill points, it's just that we don't get a lot of protection gauge, even if I'm using the 40% protection gauge on Green Charm, which I am. But, I mean, there's another 6 stacks of Vengeance right there, and we haven't actually used Yom's skill yet, which we will here now. So Orb Change, Vengeance, Heal, boom, and then when we reset Lumi, we'll have points to use her Orb Change. Full 6-handed green, max points again. I mean, we could have used either one of them, it doesn't really matter. But Lumi, I believe, stacks damage on greens with her heal skill, so that's nice. And we're just sending it all on Mirren. Again, she's healed up to full every turn. It's only going to matter when Vengeance comes in, which will be this coming turn. So the ult for Shuna right here. I don't care about Mirren's ult. She doesn't do that much, and it's an AoE, so I kind of want to take those hits. I do not want to take that Shuna ult, though. So we're going to have to make a few interesting plays here. First off, Ult Deny. The full 40 points. If he is skill fused, it'll be 25, I think, or something like that. So it'll be even easier to use. But I'm not, so he's not. So there we go. Another full hand of greens. We'll apply Vengeance that way that Rimuru has it now as well. So when the AoE from Mirren comes in, he'll get, you know, his own stack of Vengeance there. We'll send this over on Shuna just because she's the last one that we targeted. So now we don't have to worry about that. She does like 22k on her ult. It's a lot of damage, but that AoE doesn't really do that much. But now they have some magic buffs. Now her orbs start to hurt. Everybody's orbs kind of start to hurt. Especially Shuna, because she's got that light buff. But 138k on 28 stacks of Vengeance, not really that great. This is why bringing a healer is important. If you wanted, and if she is, you could bring skill-fused Trainee, Earth Trainee, for additional healing and that ult damage resistance up. So even if you don't have, you know, Water Rimuru with his Ult Denial, you could bring Trainee, at least cut that damage down a bit, and you would have another healing character. So that is a viable option. We're going to heal up a little bit here. We're going to add our defense, another stack of Vengeance, the Orb Change, really get us set up for next turn. Our ult damage is inconsequential, like it does not matter here. We just need to send it away, because I don't want ults on this team. I want green orbs. So, 7,000? Okay, cool. Doesn't matter. Yom, what do you do? 4,000? Alright, awesome. And then other Yom, 3,800. Even better. The point of this matter is adding Vengeance stacks. So there's 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. 5 stacks, and now 180k or something like that. They're down to about half HP now. That's pretty good. We have one more turn of the greens being nerfed, which, you know, is unfortunate. It is what it is. Yom has to come out of here, though, because he is taking a beating. And we got an orb change, so we can't really heal either right here either, because I need those points. So we're going to take him out, and we're going to bring Romulus in. And this is a misplay right here, because I do not use Velzard. I don't use Velzard, which actually doesn't really matter all that much, because they decided that Romulus needed to go. She was too useful, and so everyone's going to hit Romulus now. And they're pretty buffed up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So Romulus, unfortunate casualty. If they had not, you know, directly targeted her 4 out of 5 times, we would have been fine. And now, at this point, we only need one more turn. We just need for this Vengeance to kill, so we're going to heal up a bit. We have another ult coming in for Shuna, though, and if we want to get rid of that, we're gonna have to ult deny a second time. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this. The orbs don't really matter at this point because, you know, we're gonna be okay. The Vengeance, you know, the 3 stacks we put on now, plus the whatever hits they're gonna put on us, is going to eventually take them out. So I'm just gonna send these and call it good, and that'll be the end of this clip and the end of the video for the Chamber of Aspects. What stage is this? Stage 5. So, boom, boom, 45 stacks, you're dead, and you're dead too. So there we go. 3 teams to take on Chamber of Aspects Stage 5. I know the second team isn't really that friendly because it's the whole new meta, and I got Shizu on there who I tell people not to summon for, but if you found an alternate team that can take this stage on with all the restrictions, please let me know in the comments, that way people can see that. But that's it for me, take it easy, and I'll see you all later.